Hello, welcome. Disney and Ravensburger have a series of rather excellent strategy board games, wouldn't you say? If you're anything like me, you would want to keep playing even when everybody else is finished. Or perhaps you live alone and unfortunately don't have another player. Villainous is made for 2 or more players, so we find ourselves in a tricky spot, eh? Well, fear not. I've devised a way to play Disney Villainous single player. Let's get right into how. Step 1. Know how to play in the usual fashion. I won't be going over the basic rules, I will only be adding things to it. So first, learn to play normally. The thing that makes this game multiplayer is that you are racing to finish before the other players. There's also the fate deck and condition cards. You're meant to sabotage other players, defend against sabotage, and use things that opponents do on their turn. So that means there are 3 rule changes necessary. A time limit, how to replicate other players using your fate deck and condition cards, and how to use the fate action. So first up, if you're not racing someone, what's the rush? Where's the fun? So what you're going to do is race against a time limit. To the side of your board, take 10 power and arrange them like so, in 2 rows of 5. This represents the number of turns you can take. Take your first turn for free, and then after that, at the start of each turn, remove a power. Think of these as your ticket to start your next turn. As you play, if you use all of your turns, and you go to remove one only to find that you are out, you lose. Essentially, you have 11 turns to win, so get cracking. Now, I use power just because it comes with the game, but don't get it confused with the power that you use to play the game. These are entirely separate, you can use anything that you want. Using the fate deck. Here's how to replicate other players causing you grief. It's simple. Each time you take a token from the rightmost row, play the top fate card against yourself. I like to take the fate marker and put it to the right to remind myself. As you know, there are several different types of fate cards. Mostly play them as normal. But if it's a hero, or something else that you need to choose a spot for, that's where your dice come in. Simply randomize where to place a hero, or where to move things when an effect tells you to. I also play with the honor system myself, where if there's a spot that would really trip me up effectively, I play against myself as hard as somebody else would instead of randomizing it. But you can randomize it all the time if you want. Fate action. Using the fate action is terribly simple. You know how sometimes you fate effectively, but other times it doesn't go as well as you'd have liked? You can replicate this by rolling the die, or flipping a coin, whenever you perform a fate action. Give yourself a 50-50 chance of success. On a successful fate action, add a token to the end of your turns. You have an extra turn! On an unsuccessful fate action, nothing happens. Put them down in this order, so that you'll be fated in the proper order. Condition cards. Kind of similar to that are condition cards. At the end of your turn, before you draw cards for your next turn, and before you discard a token, flip a coin or roll a die. Give yourself a 50-50 chance of a condition card activating. And there you have it. Sometimes there will be a specific card that you'll need to use your imagination for, but I believe that you can handle it. So go enjoy Disney Villainous as much as you fancy.